Here are the steps for creating a hotspot question within new quizzes that we will use to give the example of a hot text question type that will be seen on the STAAR redesign. So first thing we're going to look at is within new quizzes, we are going to set up our hotspot question type, and then I will show you how we can do a workaround for hot text questions to put them within new quizzes. So again, on this new quiz, I do have a stimulus on this quiz already, and I'm going to click attach question, and then I'm going to select hotspot. But remember, you can also use the blue plus button and you can add a question without having a stimulus there if needed. So once I select hotspot, there are going to be two important areas where you enter your question information, and then we're going to add an image. So with the question title, just remember this is optional, but it's great to add the topic of what the question's about or a standard that matches it so you can reuse it in the future. And then we're going to look at the question stem. So within the question stem, this is where we add our actual question that we are asking our students. So I'm going to bring that question over, and then I will show you how we can add an image and how to recreate hot text. So now that I have my question in, I need to add my image that is going to have the text that I want my students to select for their evidence that they know which question matches this answer. So to do this, we're going to do a workaround so that we can mimic how the hot text questions will look for STAAR. To do that, I'm going to open up a Google slide, and on this Google slide, I'm going to insert a text box. Within this text box, I am going to add the text from my reading or from the stimulus that the students are answering from. And I'm just going to format the text a little bit and make it larger on the screen. So from here, when students will see the STAAR redesign or the STAAR 2.0 question for hot text, what they will see is one of their paragraphs or even multiple paragraphs, and then there is specific highlighted statements, and students are going to select the statement that gives the best evidence for that question that they were answered. So I am going to select a couple of the statements within this paragraph, and then I'm going to use the highlight tool, and I'm going to highlight those statements. So for the Cambium test we have seen so far, for the practice test, they use the color green, so I'm going to stick with the color green on this hot text example. So now on here I have my picture that I want to use, and this is now going to be saved as an image so that I can add it to my hotspot question. So from here, once I've created my text and I have selected the text that I want my students to potentially answer for my question, I click File, go to Download, and then I'm going to select a PNG. This will now download onto your device, and I'm going to go back to my new quiz, and within the drag and drop here, so you can drag and pull that image into this option, I'm going to go ahead and click Browse and open up my files and then select that hot text example. So now on here, students will see this, and as a teacher, I'm able to mark which the correct answer is. So I'm going to use the polygon tool, which allows me to click in whatever shape I want to select the correct answer. So to do this, I am going to click all the way around where the highlighted green text is that has the correct answer for my students. So as long as my students click somewhere within this blue box that I've just now highlighted over the green text, that will then automatically grade their assignment as correct. So this is our workaround to have hot text be a question example within new quizzes. Once I have selected that area, it is good to go. I do have the option to add a calculator if I need to, but for this question I don't need it. I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And for now, I'm going to scroll up, click on Preview so we can see it from a student perspective. And for the hotspot question, the students will use their mouse or their cursor to click on the correct answer. So again, these green highlighted areas are the example of what could be the correct answer. So they will read the question and figure out which answer is going to be the correct one, which text gives us the best evidence. And as long as they click somewhere within that green highlighted text that we just created with that Google slide image, they are good to go. So if my blue circle that I'm selecting as the student falls within that correct answer, it will auto grade for me.